You got a bad habit of thinking the worst is gonna happen on the safari, and it's not. That's a bad habit that you have.
You done? You got a bad habit of thinking everything is always gonna be positive.
It is, because the Lord says He has me covered.
The Lord said,
So
don't
all
be
will be well.
He said, don't be no dummy neither.
Welcome to Fridays with Tab and Chance. I am Tabitha Brown, and this is my husband.
I'm Chance, what's up?
Bring the beat in. Fridays, Fridays with Tab and Chance. Ba-dum, bum, bum. Fridays with Tab and Chance. Hey, you watch Van Van, the little girl on Instagram. She from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. She like the little rapper. She like 4 or 5 years old. And she was going like this. That's how she be dancing. My name is Van Van. I like to rap. About 2 o'clock, I take a nap. Go Van Van. You ain't never seen her. Oh, that's my girl.
She from the house?
Yeah, she's from the Carolinas and things. Yeah. Shout out to Van Van. I love her. Yeah, she's amazing.
She's talented.
So, today's topic, we're talking about habits. And when we say habits, we are talking about good habits, bad habits, what is a habit, how do you form a habit. Yeah, that's like in a roundabout way.
Is a habit the same thing as a routine?
Yeah, it could be. Because you know what, I think I used to think that hearing the word habit had a bad notion to it. Like, oh, you got a habit of doing that.
Yeah.
Instead of it being also a good thing. But there also, you can have good habits, right? So I think, let's look at the actual definition of what a habit. Definition of habit. A settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. We stayed together out of habit. That ain't us though, is it, babe? You didn't just stay with me out of habit, did you, babe? I mean, I know I'm hard to give up, but you wanted to stay, didn't you, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you love me so much?
Yep.
A long, loose garment worn by a member of a religious order or congregation is also called a habit. I didn't know nothing about that. So it's a settled or regular tendency or practice. So that could be good habits or bad. But the other thing
Wait a minute.
It says
you said a settled
or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. So I think like that's where the...
So is it a bad thing?
Well, no, because I think like with working out, it becomes a
habit.
Okay,
that's what I was thinking.
If you do it a lot.
The word settled is bothering me. However, I don't think...
Well, people get set in their ways.
Yeah, so you settled on something, like you just...
But it also says...
I don't like the word settled.
Or a regular tendency.
Yeah, okay. Which could be a good thing.
It can be a good thing, but I think that's what we're doing right now. We're kind of unpacking the thought of when you hear habit, if it ain't just us, I always used to think of it as a bad thing, like something that you got a hard time with. Mm-hmm. But I think there can be good habits as well. So like working out can be a good habit. Eating well can be a good habit. Being intentional about your workouts, being intentional about your routine, I think can be a good habit. But I used to think about, when I used to hear habit, I used to think about like, oh, smoking cigarettes. When I was growing up, like that's a bad habit. Mm-hmm. Or, drinking alcohol every day, that's a bad habit. Cutting people off when they talking, that's a bad habit.
Being
late, that's a bad habit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about I guess we could start there. Like, do we have any bad habits?
Do we?
Yeah, or do you? Do you have any for yourself that you feel like this is a bad habit that I have?
Absolutely. The one that comes to mind is I have a bad habit of not eating poorly. Mm-hmm. I don't eat poorly. I don't eat when I should. but I eat pretty healthy.
What?
Hey, starting to. I eat 90% of the food that I eat is pretty healthy.
Yeah, it is.
I have a bad habit though of not staying regular or keeping a regular schedule of when I eat and what and how much I consume, which is bothersome to me because it causes me to lose weight, which is I know not the more common thing for most people out there. But that one is the one that I tend to struggle with.
Yeah, how you eat.
When I eat, putting eating first before the other routinely things that I have in my day to day. You know what I mean? I will put eating behind it instead of making sure it's carving out time during the day to say, hey, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna get this amount of calories. Even with working out, like I have a good habit of working out. I work out 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 5. However, with in association with the bad habit of eating right after and consuming the right proteins and stuff, I will not get the benefits of the workout.
Yeah.
That's just one. That's one of the smaller, I would say, bad habits. I mean, if we really wanted to dive in, I could go in deep.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, like.
I'm really trying to think of like a bad habit.
For you?
Yeah, give me
You
one.
need some help?
Yeah, help me. Give me a bad habit, babe, that I have.
You have a bad habit of putting others before you. The one that bothers me the most. That is the habit. Now, some people out there are gonna be like, "Ooh, Auntie Tab." But as my wife, no, it's.
Oh, you
asked me for this is me. Let me finish.
Oh, okay. I want to know the scenario though.
You
like in gifting and stuff.
With rewarding yourself, and you getting the things that your heart desires, and doing and carving out time for yourself, and those kind of things, and that bad habit can irritate me. Like you will stress about scheduling. You will for others, where you're making sure everything is the ducks are in a row so they can have a great time, right? But where it applies to you, where you're saying, I want to do this just for me, and I'm going to schedule this for me. Oh, you don't want to go? Or you don't want? Oh, okay, cool. Moving on. You don't have that ability to just say, okay, I want to do this for me. So putting yourself or putting others before you is probably the one that bothers me the most. Now we can get into some of the like.
Yeah, you know, I knew that's why I said you talking about with like gifting and things, but that is definitely something that I'm working on now, like doing. I enjoy gifting. I enjoy helping others. However, when it comes to putting myself first, I do put myself first now in my personal life, like in my personal self-care, like how I wake up within myself, how I get my day started. Like I'm very intentional with my time for me in a mental way, right? Like it start with Tab, end with Tab, but I do think about others, right? It is a natural thing, and I know I have struggled with that for years with like what you're talking about, because I also have a history of people pleasing, and it's hard to unlearn. It just started at a very early age for me, and I didn't realize it until I became an adult. They're like, oh dang, I'm a people pleaser, and I think it came from, just an early age of watching the women around me please everybody else.
So
and I picked it up.
If I had to say what is one of your best habits that you do effortlessly, right? It would have been in that vein. It's with uplifting others, encouraging others, strangers, family. You do that routinely. You do that without effort. Like that's probably
it's like the double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, right? So it's like on what lens are you using to look at it.
Yeah.
That's how I would say. Now, there's a lot of good habits, a lot of bad habits, but something that's probably on a smaller, well, I don't know how you would look at it. I ain't gonna say larger or smaller. I would say when you do get into your workout mode,
I'm in it too.
you in it and you go hard too soon. Has always been your thing. All the years.
First of all, you're not even with me in the beginning.
I'm with you
No.
after you finish.
Bruh.
Sciatica.
No. First of all, I'm not getting started doing too much too soon. I know my body and I know what I can do.
Okay.
And I've worked myself up. I did used to do that. But with all the issues I've been having with my hip and my back, I had not been doing it.
With your hip and your back?
Yeah, because I got a bulging
The
disc.
hip and the back, ain't that where the sciatica is?
Yeah, I got a bulging
bulging
disc, and I have hip dysplasia, and I had sciatica, which, again, if you would have a good habit of listening, I just said
That was good. That was good.
that I don't do that anymore. I've worked myself up. Because, I mean, look, I had to do physical therapy for all them, months. I was doing acupuncture. I was doing a bunch of stuff to get myself to a place where working out at the rate that I work out now feels good and I don't hurt myself.
Okay. Now tell me this. What's a good habit that I have?
A good habit that you have, you definitely, your workouts, that's something that you 100% do. And you definitely have, I think it's a good habit for you.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
You definitely know how to put yourself first. Even if it's gonna hurt somebody's feelings, including my feelings. He don't care. He gonna put himself, which I have learned a lot from you in that. Like I've learned how to be like, oh, being a little bit selfish with your time is important for self-care, right? For years I didn't. I just used to get mad. Be like, that you just being selfish, but that is part of self-care. But you do know how to, if you want to do something, you gonna do it. And I think that's a great habit that you have.
Let me just say why. You got the opportunity to say why, right? When I was talking, but let me tell you why. And I won't go too long on this. We always say what we will do if we were blessed, right? If I hit the lottery, these are the type of conversations that people have with their significant others. Babe, what would we do if we had $1 billion, right? Or if we were able to go anywhere we wanted to go? We always say, life is short. I want to live. And we always think about, after the fact, doing funerals and things of that nature, where we are in our life, right? Well, I had the pleasure of witnessing things in my life. I choose to look at it as a positive, of witnessing things while I was in law enforcement where life comes and goes like that. I had not burden, I want to say the blessing of being one of God's vessels to have to deliver the news that family members were no longer coming home. I have also been blessed in a way that people can't imagine with this new life that we have, to be able to now have all of those moments where me and you were driving in that car and living as teenagers and envisioning ourselves and being able to use that in company of those things that I went through to where I really know what that means. So when it's time for me, I consider all those things. It ain't just me talking. It ain't just me. It's not just about being selfish. It's more or less about acknowledging those things and what they meant when we go home and I really go back to where I'm from, I'm thankful for my life, right? I go home and I look at it and I thank God for what he has done and allowed me to see, but I embrace it and it takes me back to sitting on the stoop on Lewis Street and saying, one day, man, I'm gonna have and I'm gonna do. So I do. So it makes it very easy for me, right, to say, oh, I'm here.
Absolutely.
This is what I was asking for. This is what I was praying on and wishing for. And tomorrow could be gone. This might be my last day, right? So I'm gonna drop the top on my car as many times as I possibly can because it might be my last time. I'm gonna carve out that time for me, whether it's an hour, if it's 45 minutes, if it's something that I truly, truly enjoy doing and I will do it, regardless of rain, sleet, or snow, I'm gonna do it if it's there because of those moments. That's why. And I think you deserve the same thing. And I want you to have the same habits where it's like, hey, look, no, because all I think about with you, I think about right now, people love you. They love Tabitha Brown. Books, motivation, recipes, children, all positive. The Black family,
some of it is positive.
It's 99% of it. Everything that you do is
positive. All the stuff I do, I'm talking about the people. Everybody don't love me.
But what I'm talking about is what your intention is for it to be positive, right? But we cannot ignore, right? You're carving out a space. You love to do it. You would do it. You do this for people. You don't do it looking for anything. However, we cannot ignore what we know to be true. People are fickle. People will turn on you, right?
Already have.
And they're going to continue to do so. And as your husband who loves you, I want you to always be happy and to realize that what you have currently done is enough. And when you're ready to be like, hey, I'm done, I want to do this for me, I want you to do it without any guilt. And that goes for everybody. Kids, me, fans, you have earned that. You've earned it. That's why
Absolutely.
I'm like that.
Well, and I'm 100% in agreement and understand it, but how you just explained why you think the way you think in the circumstances that you've been through and all the different things, and why you take that time for yourself is the exact reason why I like spending time with others, right? Because we don't know this is gonna be the last time. So, which is for me. I love my alone time, but my thought is like, this might be the last time I get to go to lunch with my husband or be surrounded by my family and friends. I'm a people person, right? I enjoy being with people. I enjoy my alone time, but I enjoy being with people more so than I enjoy being alone. And I think we're just different in that way. So my mind goes to a different place when I think about all the dreams that I had as a kid. I'm living in those dreams.
Right.
And then some. So this is enjoyable for me. This is what I love to do. This does give me peace and happiness and joy. To see children and do a children's show, to write books and see that people are inspired and their lives change because of my words, that gives me joy. I'm grateful that I have this life and that I can take my breaks, which I do, and I schedule them. But I enjoy that. I think that we are two different people. So our habits and how we see them are going to be different.
But
right?
they balance.
Yeah, they balance. So what you feel that you want me to do, that you do, it ain't gonna be the same because that's what brings you joy and happiness. That don't, me and Donna don't, we have a hard time on the drop top. She don't necessarily be liking to blow in the wind unless she got braids, so that ain't even her ministry,
It's balance. It's balance. But what we are describing is balance. So, but
I will, to your point, because some things that I have been learning to do on my own, I'm gonna go ahead and schedule me a trip to go to Africa because me and Zaynab, we was talking about that. So
Yeah, you said you was gonna go, right?
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go
Good.
without you. Which I had to struggle with that because I was like, dang, I really want to go with my husband. But I know that you want me to go without you. So I'm going to do it.
I feel like you just stuck me, and I don't know that I'm bleeding out yet. But I'm not dumb, but I ain't caught up yet. I'm gonna think about it for a few minutes, and I don't know whether to say good for you or I'm gonna come back to it because I feel like I think I'm bleeding.
Wow.
I might be bleeding, but I'm gonna know in a minute. I don't know. It was something right there that felt a little slick.
No.
I don't know if that was you good with that one. That was good. I don't know if that was a compliment or if you. I don't know, but the way
what
you
I'm
did
saying
that.
is I'm taking a page out of your book and I'm taking your suggestion that you've been telling me forever that I need to do.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Good for you.
And then I know that you don't want to go to Africa.
See, that part right there is where I feel like you.
Babe, we have so much, so many episodes of you saying that you
I know, but I'm trying to figure out if you really are trying to be.
I'm being for real.
Okay, but
I'm gonna go over there and see about it first. And if I see some really nice things over there, I think that you might enjoy, I'll be like, hey, babe, next time you should go. Mm-hmm. But first time,
I just think you should think
go
about
by
yourself,
myself.
baby. I think you should see right there. That's what I'm talking about.
What? I ain't going by myself. I'm going with Zaynab. And Nick will probably go too.
Y'all going on a safari?
Yep.
We got to make sure all the paperwork is in order.
Wow. That's why you want me to go by myself.
No, it ain't. I don't want you to go on a safari at all.
Why?
Stay on topic.
Oh.
Habits.
You got a bad habit of thinking that Africa and a safari is something bad, and it's not. You got a bad habit of thinking the worst is going to happen on the safari, and it's not. That's a bad habit that you have.
You done? You got a bad habit of thinking everything is always going to be positive.
It is, because the Lord says he has me covered.
The Lord said,
so all will be well.
He said, don't be no dummy neither. The
only
safari
is not dumb.
So on your videos, you're only looking at the ones where the lions is cuddling and
I don't want to touch them.
But you don't want to look at the video where the elephants is chasing people and stomping out people. And
First of all, I am a lover of animals.
You got a bad habit of getting off topic.
I'm a lover of animals. So I would not be cuddling them and all that stuff unless it was like at a sanctuary where it was like, rehabilitated or something. And they had a moment with them. Like I got to see the camels in Dubai.
Did you see where that woman got stuck in there with them gorillas?
First of all, I wouldn't be in there. But I would go
These
over
animals,
there to like Rwanda.
I had a squirrel try to attack me the other day. These animals don't like humans no more. I'm telling you, there's something going on in the world. Los got it on video. He got it on video. I'm trying to eat my sandwich. The squirrel was like, hey, hand it over.
It's energy.
I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Somebody's probably been feeding the squirrel, so he probably thought, oh, you eating, you here to give me food.
He was sadly mistaken.
So it's not the squirrel. And where were you?
I was on the golf course.
In the squirrel's home.
Where you gonna be?
The least you could have did. The least you could have did.
So
brought him something to eat.
I'm on the golf course and you talking about going to a safari.
I'm not out there trying to hit squirrels with balls.
I'm not trying. You ain't. Look, you.
But that's what's happening.
All right, go ahead.
And the ball be going in the hole. Who goes under them holes? Them squirrels be out there trying to live.
I ain't about to do it. It's just a bad habit. This is what I'm talking about. Every time we start out with a topic, you make a bad habit of getting off topic. And then you make a bad habit of you want to pitch yourself against me. You see?
You got a habit of talking with your hands.
I do?
Yeah.
What is that saying? Right there. What is that? What am I saying right there?
I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him, Blackie.
I do?
Blackie saw that. I'm going to get him. But you do got a habit of talking with your hands. Not a bad habit, but you do. Let's just see how, now you're trying to hold it together. Let's see if you talk with your hands for the rest of the episode.
We're done with this episode. Close it out.
Are we done?
We already did. I think we done did enough on talking about habits and showing what good habits are and bad habits.
How long does it take to form a habit? I think scientifically they say it takes 30 days to form a habit. unless you like, I guess, like smoking drugs. Like
I don't believe that. I don't think it takes that long.
they say crack cocaine, you are instantly,
Yeah,
for
that's
real,
what I'm saying.
Carlo.
Yeah.
They say you instantly become addicted.
And I think it just comes down
just
to
came
the
to my head.
individual, and it comes down to the individual and
Like people who have addictive
whatever.
behavior.
Because look, I crack. Yes, people gonna laugh at that, right? But that's true.
No, yeah,
that's true.
yeah, it's a
Like
real
they
thing.
hit it one time and they done,
What?
right?
You gotta use a
But I
crack
think where people gonna argue is that's the difference between a habit
Gotta
and an
go pee.
addiction, right? Right?
Yeah, it's an addiction, habit. I mean, it's just like
An
food.
uncontrollable addiction,
Yeah.
right? I just know with this golf thing and things that I really enjoy, it didn't take me 30 days. It really didn't.
Yeah,
It
just
just
to
it
know
was
that
my
you loved it.
personality. Yeah, it was just my personality, and like, hey, I don't like not being good at something, so I'm gonna keep at it. And
Mm-hmm.
immediately I recognized what I enjoyed about being outdoors, and you know what I mean, the appreciation for
The
it.
environment, the whole thing.
That whole experience thing that I keep talking about, but it didn't
think-
take 30 days. It was really
Pretty quick.
pretty quick. Like, hey, this is
Yeah.
I want to do this again tomorrow. So I just think it comes down to the individual.
I used to love reading like books. And I remember like in the 90s, in early 2000s, back like when like Elian Harris and Eric Drum Dickey, like all those books was out, like we would have book clubs and like I could not get enough of it. It was like after I read one, it was so good, or like Coldest Winter Ever, like Sister Soldier, like all those books, it became a habit that like I had to find a book to read. And I don't know when it shifted, life started to life and I had less and less time. And then also when we moved to LA and I started studying acting, I started reading scripts more than reading books. And I think about with you, I remember me getting you to read The Coldest Winter Ever.
Great book.
And after you did,
I might read that book again.
because you weren't a reader. You weren't like but after that you was like, man, I want to read something else. One good book created a habit inside of you.
Yeah.
And sometimes the habit may last for a while and then it might fizzle out. And so I think that sometimes habits can go through seasons. You know, you might pick it back up again, right? I remember when you had it like in your mind that like you was gonna read the whole Bible
Yeah.
and you was like doing it every day and then like you were listening to it, had it on your phone, you was reading it. And it just becomes, I think, a thing that we get fixed on sometimes. And I think that can be the case with people in their like collection of cars or collection of shoes. Like these can also be a habit that, what, your collection of shoes?
That's a bad habit.
Is it a bad habit though?
Yeah, it is.
Yours is, I don't really have the issue.
I was kind of in. See, I had a good excuse for a bad habit, so I thought it was you know what I mean.
What's a good, I think you just said something there, a good excuse for a bad habit. Just speak on that.
When I realized that I was making or had a good excuse for a bad habit was when I was moving some stuff around in the closet and a brand new pair of shoes that I had never wore. 2 pair.
Oh,
And
you
I
kept
was
this to
like-
yourself.
And I was like, this don't make no sense. I got 2 brand new pair of shoes in here that I've never wore. And I kind of was like, man, it was, then the excuse was, I deserve it. I can, it ain't hurting nobody, right? It ain't hurting nothing. So I'm gonna get them because I want them, right? Well, how bad did you want them if you had them that was new and they sat in your closet for almost a year? Like that long. You get what I mean? Like, even making an excuse that I got an event or something that'll come up and I'll wear it eventually, right? Event past, come and gone. Shoot.
You don't really be eventing like that. I be eventing like that, so I
I'm
have to buy.
saying-
I be buying stuff like that. So stop
that's
looking
why.
at me.
That's why. Well, that's why. That's all I'm saying. I just feel I come to terms with that, right? So.
Well, I don't think that's a bad thing.
But I'm talking about me personally.
Oh, this
right?
is
I'm just
right.
talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
I'm not
I mean,
saying.
I
I'm not
don't-
saying for everybody. I'm just saying.
Because sometimes
My bad habits may not be yours. Yours
This
may
is
be
very true. We
yours may be a
established
good
that.
habit. But
That's right.
but sometimes being in company of somebody who it's a necessity for them. I'm in
Yeah.
company of you. I'm your husband. I don't need to do what you need to do.
This
I
is
don't
very
need to
true.
do it. I don't need to do it. And sometimes I need to just acknowledge, like, man,
You want that because you see it.
you
That's
want
my-
it because you
My
see
granddaddy
it,
used
right?
to say that. You just want
You
that
want
because
it,
you
and
see
now
it.
here you are scraping in food that you couldn't eat.
Your eyes was
You
bigger than
scraping
your
food
stomach.
in the trash, right? You scraping food in the trash, and it's disrespectful to the household and family.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So that's
people who
kind of
don't have.
and the people who don't have. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I looked at it. I mean, it was literally like, wow, I forgot I had these up here.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, for me, it's a bad habit that I've been trying to
work on.
Yeah, to
So
work
you
on.
ain't gonna buy no more shoes.
That's not what I said.
You've been trying not to buy.
Don't weaponize my words now. Am I
No,
wrong?
because
And
you had
don't weaponize my
No, but you had told
transparency
me.
and my vulnerability. Don't weaponize it. Don't do it.
No, I'm just saying because remember you had said.
I said what I said. I said I realized it's a bad habit. I didn't say.
But so
I
are you
did
working
not say
on it?
but I'm gonna give me some Snickers. Like,
Y'all know how crackheads when they not ready to let go of the crack, even if they say they are, they be like, "No, I ain't really gonna smoke no more, but I'm gonna give me some crack."
you're gonna take my shoes now and turn them into a.
No, I'm just saying that might be an addiction.
You're gonna take them. You're
Versus
gonna take
a
my
habit.
You're gonna take my shoes now. My shoes and turn it into a 8-ball.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You're gonna turn it.
We're not talking about pool here.
I feel like you just want to go against me today.
No, babe, I love you. I got a real bad habit of loving you, baby.
That's a bad habit.
I love you bad.
Bad
That's
habit.
a good thing. That's Choice saying bad is like that means like down. Like I love you bad.
Choice has a thing about 80s and the 90s.
She be like, oh, if you love daddy, you love daddy bad. I'm like, I love him bad, girl. And then she be like, okay, that's enough. Goodbye. So I think this has been great. I think that what I hope is that this encourages y'all as couples, friends, partners, to have a conversation about habits. Not all habits are bad. Some habits are good.
What are some things as a couple that you think that we do before you close it out that are good habits?
We talk about finances together, always. We plan, like financially, like we ain't never gonna make a decision without each other financially. Like we are like, oh wait, no, we gotta look at this together. This is something that we do. We don't ever stray away from that. We parent well together. I don't know if that's necessarily a habit, but it is definitely our routine. We
Don't stay on the road that you own.
I'm on the road.
No.
And we got a good habit.
So we have a good habit. I think we have.
And lately, right, regular.
I think that's the horny goat weed. I think we got.
We've been taking horny goat weed.
We made a good habit of
taking them supplements.
Being intentional about making one another laugh too.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, we make a good habit of laughing together, of looking for something that we can get a good chuckle out of one another.
We have a good habit of listening.
Yeah. I don't know if you got that habit. I don't know.
I bet I won't listen to you no more. I'm gonna ignore you from now on. From now on, I'm ignoring you.
I think we do pretty good. I think we got a lot of good habits that support our marriage, and we balance one another out on the good as opposed to the bad. If she has a bad one, it ain't too often that we share what I think in two bad. You know, I have a bad habit and you have the same bad habit. I think we balance each other out well to where, like we've discussed, you always put others first. I'm good about putting us first.
Yeah.
And making sure. So I think right in the middle is
But don't
where
nobody come before us.
us. Yeah.
God,
Nobody come before us.
me, us.
Yeah. But I'm always make sure that Tab is mindful and that she's gonna make sure that I need to consider everybody and you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be like, all right, well, right in the middle is where the line is. This is what we doing for them, this is what we ain't. This is how much we giving.
Is
and
me
this what we at.
first, and then I slide in with, well, babe, this is what we gotta think about. And he'd be like, oh, all right. He find his way over, and then we settle it. And maybe that's the settling part of the habit.
Yeah.
So that's a very good thing. So
Good thing.
y'all talk amongst yourselves. What are some good habits, some bad habits? What's some things maybe you can work on together or individually? Start the conversation. Make starting conversations a good habit. We got a good habit of keeping y'all going with these Fridays with Tab and Chance. We show up every week for y'all. So, yeah, that's it, babe.
That's it.
All right, until the next time, honey, y'all go about y'all business, baby. Have the most amazing day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Here. Love y'all. Bye. Thank you for watching this episode, honey. And if you liked it, go ahead and click right here for more of those episodes.
And if you haven't already subscribed, please remember to do so.
Very good.